What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another World Cup preview. I'm your host, the big man on campus here for SBR Sports Picks and SBRForm.com. Continuing our coverage, taking a look today at Group F in the World Cup. Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and South Korea headline this group. And, another one of these groups, and we've talked lately about a couple of these groups that are kind of interesting. And, look, you look at this one. Look, we got a straightforward winner here. And look, got to be frank with you, 1-3 on Germany to win this group. I think that's pretty cheap, frankly. I just don't see anyone stopping Germany. I mean, I think second and third will be a battle, but listen, this Germany team is really obviously phenomenal, as we know. I don't have to tell anyone that, and I'm not going to go into a deep, info-based story on how great they are. We all know they are. This is, from the veterans to some of the young kids. You look at even like the veterans, Mesut Ozil, Toni Kroos, Mueller, Hummels. You look at the young kids, Sule, Werner, Goretzka. I didn't really understand leaving Leroy Sané off, but again, can't have everybody. That just kind of shows how just immersed that they are in quality. I mean, it's amazing. You can leave Sane off the list, and you're still, you're still phenomenal. And what's also amazing is like Manuel Neuer, the goalie. I mean, he's had some health concerns lately, but if you can't go to him, you just go to Ter Stegen. I mean, it's quite amazing. They'll lift this, group. They'll go deep into this tournament. They're obviously one of the favorites to win it. Joachim Löw's team is deep, and they'll be there at the end. I think the big question is who's going to finish second, who's going to be in this group and move on. And it's a great question. I mean, you obviously have Sweden, who, is a team that's obviously kind of quite unknown to a lot of people. They had a great qualifying. You did it, with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but, you look now, I mean, no Zlatan. I mean, he's not going to be at the World Cup. You're going to have to, Marcus Berg, Emil Forsberg, those guys are going to have to, carry this team. And I think they're confident that they can. It's a bit concerning because, Zlatan's been such a known guy for this team for so long. But, I think they can get along without him. They only allowed 9 goals in qualifying, which is quite impressive, especially when you had, France in your group. You had the Netherlands in your group. And they had the most goals as well. So they're a team that I think is there that you have to be obviously, worried about. But I'm starting to get to the point where, for me, I think Mexico will find a way to get the job done. Mexico, I think luckily is always in that easiness of getting into the World Cup because they're in CONCACAF, and CONCACAF is filled with a lot of poor teams. I mean, when you're playing Panama and Honduras and those kind of teams, I mean, there shouldn't be any reason you don't get through. But Mexico's a little bit to prove. They're generally a team that can find a way to get out of the group stage. They're a balanced team. Chicharito, obviously the leading goal scorer, but Herving Lozano is a great player. The Dos Santos brothers, a great goalkeeper in Ochoa. They're just a bit more experienced for me. I think them and Sweden will battle. As far as South Korea, Heung-min Son's a great player, but it's about all you got. They definitely will finish fourth. To me, I think it'll be Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and South Korea. As far as some of the other stuff here, I have a hard time thinking that the South Koreans will do much. I mean, you got to figure they're going to struggle here. Their team total in this is, as far as wins or points are concerned, it's only 3. You can get over 3 at 225 or under 2 at plus 125. I have a hard time thinking that they score any points in this tournament, really, as far as points are concerned. Maybe they can get a draw. I don't see it. They're not going to beat Germany. I don't think they can beat Mexico. And Sweden obviously will use this team to kind of batter I would go under 2 with South Korea. I think that's a nice little bet there. Under 2 at plus 125. I don't see them scoring any points. Obviously, to win the group, I'll go Germany at minus 300 as well. You got to lay some down a little bit with some of these group winners. But I think it's important to mention that I've actually talked about this. I think when you're doing group like winners, a lot of the time parlaying them is kind of the best option, and most books will allow it. So let's say we parlay all of our group winners so far. So that would be Uruguay, Spain, France, Argentina, Germany, and Brazil. It pays out a nice plus 822. I mean, 16 par. I mean, I feel really confident in our bets there. So that's something you can do as well. You don't have to obviously risk 1 to 3 and 1 to 3.5 and 1 to 2. Throw them all in a parlay and get a nice little 8-1 payout. But that'll wrap up Group F. As always, like and comment. Let me know what you think in the chat as far as your choices on who you like to win these groups. Check out all the groups, the previews that I do, and enjoy the World Cup next week in Russia.